Which game's going to be worst on my list? Well, let me tell you. It's... There have been 12 whole games that have had their own take on the zombies experience within Call of Duty. Through all of these games, we've had 3 developers making zombies, with, of course, Treyarch being the most well-known and successful. With that many hands in the mixing pot with their own recipes, we have seen extensive variety to the zombies experience presented. Sometimes this is amazing, sometimes not so much. I'm here today to look at these games as a whole and rank them from worst to best. We are covering all main Call of Duty titles that have zombies, not including things like the mobile or DS versions or anything else like that. We also won't include Extinction because, well, it isn't zombies, but one day I will finally talk about that mode because I love it. Today is not that day though. Let's jump into this and get to what is the worst zombies experience ever inflicted upon players. So, 12 games. Number 12 is going to start us off as the worst, and it is Advanced Warfare. Advanced Warfare Zombies was never high on my list, but as the years have gone on, it has slowly, but surely, fallen lower and lower until hitting rock bottom now. I propose one simple question whose answer will highlight the most looming issue with this Zombies iteration. What is the catch for Advanced Warfare? What sets it apart from other Zombies modes? What is meant to set it apart from other Zombies modes? The answer, the exosuit. Now don't get me wrong, I love the exosuits, and as a side note, I loved the multiplayer of Advanced Warfare because of them. But in this Zombies mode, it is the exosuit that makes this Zombies game unique. However, you are tortured if you attempt to use it. If you ran around playing this game mode without ever using your exosuit, it would suck, but you wouldn't be tortured. What happens is you try to use it and bam, an EMP zombie robs you of all enjoyment. You get an explosion of blue on screen, a vile pop-up that covers the whole screen saying you've been EMP'd, and then you're unable to use your exosuit for a few seconds. These EMP zombies are constantly on the map, so basically, you're screwed if you try to engage with the one thing that should make this mode fun. All of that, and we haven't even discussed a map yet. Suffice to say, you make a mode and your catch is that you have an exosuit, but then you ruin people when they try to use the exosuit? Oh, you see my problem here? Advanced Warfare didn't launch with a zombies map. It only got one with each DLC season, meaning it got only 4 maps. Outbreak, as the first one, is a fine introduction. Infection is worse than words can describe at times, and to avoid me going down a ranting rabbit hole, I'm leaving it there. Bottom 3 map ever.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Carrier was a map that for a long time I had an affinity for, but now it means little to me. It has a plinko machine. You know it's rough when your zombies map is best known and best liked for a plinko machine. It also has a cool wonder weapon that's just terribly weak, so it kind of doesn't matter. Descent has a unique element where you're fighting Oz and a fun jump puzzle in the Easter egg. Everything else kind of sucks. So the maps aren't good. You aren't allowed to move and engage with the core identity of the mode, and nothing that you can use as a player is strong enough to be fun. This is thanks to the Pack-a-Punch system being not 1, not 2, not 3, not 5, but a 20-tier system. There is never a large enough boost in damage at once to ever feel like you're getting somewhere. You always feel like you're playing catch-up, and it makes for a pretty miserable experience. If I were given the opportunity to offer a brand new gamer their first ever zombies experience, I'd ensure to never utter the words Advanced Warfare. This is a good time to point out that if you came here for hatred on these lower tier zombies games, I'm not here to deliver that. I will express what I do not like in each game and some of the things I do hate. I won't go out and say these games are unplayable trash bins because each game has some things that can be fun. Even Advanced Warfare can be fun from time to time if you play the right maps, Outbreak and Descent, and don't stick around too long. This is why I say it's the worst, but I don't hate its guts. I still play it from time to time just because it's fun to do once in a while. But if somebody is not an experienced zombie player, I wouldn't recommend it. It doesn't really make sense for them to play this one. But for a vet to the zombies world that just wants something different, sure, give it a try. With that, let's move to the next game. Alright, this is probably one that you guys expected to be the worst one, but it's not quite the worst in my world. Number 11 is Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. Is it really surprising that it's really low, though? It is a game which in its entirety is nothing like any other zombies mode. This isn't inherently bad. If it were paired with some standard zombies in the game, then it really wouldn't be a problem. Think Outbreak and Cold War. Yes, that was a very different thing, but we still had round-based maps to play at the time. Here in MW3, all you have is the Urzikstan map with Operation Deadbolt, which takes zombies and places it in a Warzone map. There are no rounds, not even challenge-based rounds like Outbreak. In here, your difficulty is entirely based on what region you're in, Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 regions. Traveling into a higher tier will be more difficult, but have better rewards in it, so it's a trade-off. You loot, you do objectives to earn more points and loot, you drive vehicles to go fight zombies to get more loot, or many times you just fight AI mercenaries with guns to get more loot. It is not something that fits the vibe of zombies very well when you spend just as much time in your zombies game shooting humans as you do zombies. This match is limited to an hour timeline, which I guess can be good for some people who don't want to play forever, but to that I say just end your round-based game when you're done playing and have had your fill. You don't need a match timer to tell you when you want to stop. There are a few neat things here, but they're weighed down by the overall premise. I like the option to choose to enter the match with some extra gear to get started faster. This adds a completely unique element to zombies only seen here. Do I spawn with a few extra items to get started? If I do that and fail the quest I'm trying to do, then it will have been a waste, and it will be a while until I can get this gear back to try what I was doing again. I like that side to this mode where there is extra strategy. Crafting wonder weapons in a new way can be neat, if not tedious, to get to that point. There is a new take on developing the story through acts and over time by doing challenges, and it all eventually leads to a really cool worm boss fight. This game mode is a forced squad mode with multiple teams running around on the map. You can merge and run around with another team if you want to, or you can do your own thing, or do your own thing with your own team. Managing to gather extra people that can do this boss fight together or just do challenges with you is cool and again unique to this mode. Is this something that should return? I say no. Outbreak is actually pretty fun and is a much better way to involve large maps, vehicles, and bosses into zombies. Even with having said all of that, MW3 is not even close to my favorite zombies game, but I can still enjoy it. I have been investing more time into it recently, and given more time, it's gone from a hatred to something that I can get some enjoyment out of here and there. This does largely depend on what part of the story I'm working through. An annoying mission to complete a step can derail the fun pretty quickly before you finish it and get back to the fun again. Some examples are the convoy mission where you're just trying to hope that one spawns at some point that you can track down and eliminate. Or you'll be getting one where you have to use a sentry gun to eliminate zombies, and you never get a sentry gun, so you play match after match after match, just hoping you can get a sentry gun, and you don't. Thankfully, you have a few other missions you can work on at that time, but you're still just waiting, hoping that sometime you get a sentry gun. That's the annoying part of the mode, but it can be fun. All of that, I said a lot of things, but ultimately MW3 Zombies is a very weak entry to the zombies world. It can oftentimes be a bit dry, and it lacks the fundamental core zombies ideas that make it endlessly replayable. However, it isn't some frustrating mess of a game like Advanced Warfare, which is why it is a spot above it. At the very least, MW3 and every game above this had a goal in mind, and they did it. Advanced Warfare didn't do the one thing that its core identity should have done. That's why it's at the bottom. Number 10. I guarantee this is one that is going to be, why is it even up in number 10? Am I allowed to be honest for a moment? If Vanguard had more maps in its round-based format, it could have easily ended up higher. I know, sacrilegious to say that, but just chill for a second. The problem is that there are only 2 maps worth your time in this game, so the content simply isn't there. However, those 2 maps being Shinonuma and the Archon are actually quite good. What I like about Vanguard within these 2 round-based maps is how round-based feels to play inside of Vanguard. It is fun to play. I have urges to play it, and I do play it. I hop in, I run around for a while, do an Easter egg probably, and then go about my day. I can actually enjoy playing Vanguard willingly. I know, crazy idea, it's kind of fun at times. The Covenant system is something I have spoken about on this channel previously, and I spent a whole video gushing over it. I think this is a fantastic system that is different than what we have seen in the past. It allows, and sometimes essentially forces you to have a different setup between matches. Sometimes you may be wanting a certain Covenant to play a certain way, but you don't end up getting to select that one from the pool. You may end up trying something completely different. The last time I played, I ended up with a new setup where I had the Covenant that increases your damage while stationary. So I'd gather up a horde, and then I'd stop and stand still to take him out. It's simple, but it makes you think, how can I best utilize the Covenants I have to be an effective zombies slayer? The two good maps of this game also have Easter eggs that are pretty good, which is nice. The biggest issue with Vanguard as a whole is that its first two maps are god-awful. They aren't round-based. They're trying to be Outbreak without the large map that made Outbreak unique. The mode just gets annoying being forced to do objectives to push rounds. These maps have lame excuses for Easter eggs, and a huge improvement from Duran Fong to Terra Maledicta is that you get some in-match rewards for doing its Easter egg. They're not good rewards, but this is the level of improvement we're talking about between these two maps. Another big complaint of Vanguard is the Stormkriegers, aka big dudes with miniguns. No, it is not fun to be lit up by a zombie with a gun. When a zombie's enemy has a ranged attack, one of two things needs to happen. One, there needs to be a long windup to give you time to react, or making it a projectile that can be dodged. Two, is making it a very weak attack so it doesn't really matter when you're hit by it. These guys, however, don't really follow either rule. It is a strong attack that is not a projectile, and there's very little in the way of warning. The only silver lining here is that they are pretty easy to take out. They aren't the strongest enemy, so if you can focus on them quickly after they spawn, they aren't a huge issue. But still annoying, I agree. The first two maps of Vanguard are the reason it is so low overall. They're garbage. I'm not denying that by saying I actually like Vanguard, because I'm not talking about those maps. It is the next two maps that prevent it from being at the bottom. More maps like those two, and it would have risen higher. I said what I said. Those two Vanguard maps are good, and I like to play them. That's it. I like those two maps. That's it. Our number 9 game is World War II. I think the placement of the game may not be a problem, but I imagine that maybe some of what I say will be the problem. World War II was a zombies game that started off really trying specifically to do horror, and over time dropped that idea. It began with Final Reich and a little shack in Groston House. Here we find the peak of this game because it is almost entirely downhill from here. Before the collapse, I want to talk briefly about the backbone of World War II zombies. My take is that this may very well be the best backbone and base mechanics of any zombies game ever. Outside of match progression is great. This loadout system is fun to use. Different abilities and different upgrades you can equip before the match can easily assist you during the match and help you vary your gameplay. Then, when you are actually in the game, it feels damn good to just shoot zombies. The audio is great with the weapons and the zombies, the hit feedback is amazing, and playing this game, taking out zombies, is an all-around blast. All of this sounds amazing, so what could have possibly gone so wrong to leave the game here? Well, that would be the maps. Every map after the first one either sucks or is at best not good. Another reason that I can't get behind this game is that after the first map, all of the Easter eggs are torture to do solo and on mouse and keyboard. Hello, I am both of these things, so it is infuriating to play. Final Reich is a top 10 zombies map of all time. Great map, great layout, great wonder weapons, fun Easter egg, great map to just slay zombies in. Darkest Shore looks like garbage, and it plays garbage too. Shadowed Throne is trying to be good, and it would be better if it didn't follow the two rules from before. Terrible solo, and terrible on mouse and keyboard. The dials and safes you have to spin in this map will make your eyes bleed with how slow they respond to mouse and keyboard inputs. Even with a controller, it takes long enough that while solo, your zombie that you save is always going to catch you and start smacking your ass while you're locked into a combination screen that you have to then leave, run around, and try again once you think the zombie may be far enough away. The map itself has a good layout and a good wonder weapon. It is just the Easter egg that is disgusting to do when you're stuck in this experience. Okay, on to the next map. Oh god, what do we have here? Oh no, oh Jesus, it's the worst map in Call of Duty Zombies. It's Tortured Path. You play the map, you're forced into objectives that suck ass to complete. If you fail, it's an immediate game over. This map sucks. It is 3 small maps stitched together through 10-round segments on each map. Garbage, nothing else to say. What came from the Tortured Path were those 3 smaller maps becoming survival maps of their own. And no surprise, they're actually really fun to play because the base mechanics of this game are so damn fun. Just playing a survival map in this game, that's good. I like it. The last map being the Frozen Dawn, where guess what? It sucks to do this Easter egg because the entire thing is just about upgrading 4 melee weapons that are totally okay. Nothing special, just okay weapons, but the upgrades aren't even really fun or engaging to do, and that's where I have the bigger issue with it. Some parts of this map are good, the boss fight is neat, but it is just another map that isn't very good and failed the game that it is in. If I am playing World War II Zombies, the only main map I will willingly play is the Final Reich, and I will do it happily. I would play the survival maps as well because they are really fun, but all of the other main maps are bad and ruin this game for me, which is why it is down here. Number 8, brace yourselves, is World at War. World at War is responsible for everything to come after it. This game was never meant to have zombies, and I am so thankful that the devs decided to throw a dart at the wall and see what happened. Little did they know, they hit a bullseye. Considering how long ago this game came out, it is crazy to see that it is still better than quite a few of the titles that followed it. This game had no idea what it was doing, yet every map got better and better as the dev team found their legs and started to run by the time Darius closed this game out. It is classic and it is simple fun. No, of course it isn't the best, but it laid the basic groundwork, and then it was up to the future games to enhance this concept and drive it forward. People may call it hate for it being this low, but there is no malice behind this placement. It has not aged well. It is old. It is rough to play and only really played by those who are still seeking to get to astronomical rounds because this game's old design makes it possible, or those seeking a nostalgia trip. World at War is a good zombies game. It simply lacks the depth that came along with the later games. Number 7 is Cold War. Cold War is what started the modern zombies trend, and at the time of its release it was well received. Over the course of its life, that good reception started to tank slowly as the maps kept coming and kept being boring. This game lacks aura, it lacks atmosphere. Maps take place in facilities that are very simple across the world. Forsaken is the best example at the worst layout. This map is simply annoying to navigate and not really fun to play. Like almost all of the maps here, the biggest reason to play is for the wonder weapon. Each map had its own unique wonder weapon, and these were actually pretty good wonder weapons too, powerful and fun to use. If I may allow myself to get sidetracked for a moment, and I will allow it, why does Cold War look like ass? Why does Black Ops 3 still look so much better than this game? I don't think I can say Black Ops 2 looks better, but at least Black Ops 2 had its own visual style. Cold War is just boring to look at, and it's ugly on top of that. The graphical quality just isn't there. I don't know. I can't stop myself from mentioning that when it comes to this game. Back on topic, Cold War also brought Outbreak, which outbroke the community's mind when it released. Many of the mainline fans hated it and were asking for it to just be round-based going forward. It turned out to be a pretty popular mode to the broad player base and opened the door for things like Vanguard zombies and MW3 zombies to exist as they did. I was part of the crew that didn't like Outbreak at release. I avoided it and didn't want to like it. When they released the Easter egg for it, I went back and did that, which turned out to be pretty good, and it leads to an amazing boss fight. Now I look at Outbreak as something I can absolutely enjoy here and there. I don't want it to be the main feature of any zombies game, but I wouldn't mind it being there in tandem with the round-based mode so long as neither detracts from the other's development. The last real thing to talk about with this game is the story. It was told in a whole new way compared to previously, and it is not a very good method. Having none of our players be a part of the developing story leaves it feeling very disconnected and not engaging. The only thing that was positive from the story really was at the end when they dropped the big reveal of the director being none other than Richtofen. Cold War is a pretty middle-of-the-road zombies game that is there because it is a mixed bag of really good and some pretty bad elements. Thankfully, some of these bad elements were cleaned up for Black Ops 6, but not all, and some of these seemingly will never change, and those roots started here. All of that being said, you may be wondering, why is this over World at War? And that's simply because it's just a bit more playable. I'm sorry, World at War is just kind of old, and I'm not trying to shit on it, but it's not super fun to play because of all the bugs and just the sluggishness of everything that's in there. I'll play it once in a while, absolutely, but I prefer something that's a little bit smoother. Sorry, sue me. Number 6 is Infinite Warfare, the last of the non-Treyarch games to show up on my list. I remember when this game was launching, and it had quite the negative build-up to launch. I was in the minority who was excited, but mainly for the multiplayer side. That ended up being pretty bad, so that wasn't ideal. But the zombies, which I was, of course, interested in as a zombies fan, ended up being quite a lot better than I expected. I was expecting it to be okay, most likely. Advanced Warfare showed that maybe other devs didn't really know how to do zombies, so I wasn't really that keen on this mode leading up to launch. Then it hits with Zombies in Spaceland, which is an amazing map that nailed its theme and just ran with it. They followed that up with Rave in the Redwoods, which is essentially just as good in my opinion. I'm a Rave fan. But after that, the drop-off came. Attack of the Radioactive Thing is a good map, but not excellent. A lot of shit going on in that map. Kinda hard to get behind. Shaolin Shuffle is annoying to play because of the Kung Fu zombies. And then the Beast from Beyond was, This was a game that started strong, but over time absolutely lost the plot down the stretch. Regardless, it is the front half of this game that props it up and keeps it afloat. It also managed to tell a complete story. Even if not the best story in the world, it set out to tell this story, and it did so while exploring different thematic eras. It is fun to play and has some really great boss fights within it as well, which have always been highlights of this game. I would encourage Zombies fans to play this game, even if it's mainly just for the first 3 maps. They're that good. Moving on to number 5, I surprisingly don't have a lot to say about it, but it's Black Ops 1. Black Ops 1 is a solid zombies experience. From the start, it was out to please both the casuals and that growing hardcore fan base. Kino was for the casual side, and 5 was for the hardcore fans that enjoyed being tortured. And from there, the DLC maps range between casual friendly and hardcore friendly. This was where the concept of story-driven Easter eggs with evolving scope started to grow. It started incredibly simple with Ascension, and got more complex as it went. Moon ended Black Ops 1, and while in today's standards the Easter egg is baby work, at the time it was the new big thing with a major finale of blowing up the Earth. The reason this isn't higher is because of the at times lackluster visuals and the still basic gameplay mechanics. As the mode evolved, it got better, but this is a great experience to this day, even if it is lagging behind feature-wise compared to newer titles. Ascension being the first map, extremely casual friendly, nice training map. The monkeys, they're not that bad. I don't know why it's such a problem, but I don't see it. I think they're fine. They're very manageable. Then you move on to Call of the Dead, which is a big open snow-filled area. It's a really cool concept for a map. Great cast of celebrity characters. George is there. I'm not a real big fan of George, but I get it. People love him. Scavenger's really cool. Wish it had infinite damage. Yep, I'm just like everyone else on that regard. So Call of the Dead is a really good map. It's my favorite out of Black Ops 1 for sure. Even though I don't really like George, I love everything else about the map. I think it's really well done. Shangri-La, it's tough. It's real tough, but it's a cool map. All right, I will confess, I didn't like it for a very long time. Still not something I love, but I like it. It's cool. I respect it. Then you've got Moon, a really cool set piece. You're dealing with the astronaut. I think he's really manageable to deal with, so not a big deal.
Those are so good. What the fuck?
Hacker being there, awesome feature, super unique to Moon, well, because it's only ever been on Moon, but I think I'm okay with that because it is such a cool, unique thing that it's nice to be able to say that Moon has that and not any other map. Considering how much things are recycled nowadays, I am okay with that just staying on Moon, right? Moon is a cool map. It's great. I'm all about it. Looks like dog shit on this game. Glad that Black Ops 3 remastered it. Here we are End of Black Ops 1 had some pretty cool maps, a really good one with Call of the Dead, really great casual map with Kino der Toten. Yup, it had Dead Ops Arcade 2, that's also awesome that they introduced that. I know that out of all of these placements, where I put Black Ops 1 is likely to be the largest point of backlash, but I want you to remember this. I am a fan of zombies, and have been since World at War, but it was truly Black Ops 1 and Kino der Toten that dragged me in. This game is mostly responsible for me sitting here making this video now. I love zombies, and I love so many of these games. I am in no way saying that Black Ops 1 is bad. I promise I love Black Ops 1, but other games have taken the zombies mode and done more with it. That's all. You may now proceed to the comments to scream about me placing Black Ops 1 too low and that I'm a fake fan. I'm braced, and I'm ready. It is the newest game, at the time of making this video, that places itself here at number 4. Black Ops 6 is, yes, a good zombies game. Like all games, it does have issues, but it improved many aspects of modern zombies and made it more enjoyable than other titles from the same era. The reason it isn't higher is because some of those problems still exist. 3 large ones being the point system, armor, and the lack of atmosphere in the maps. Those are the big 3 in my eyes, with story being right behind them. The story has real potential, but they aren't tapping into it. As it stands, they're kind of just wildly flailing and hoping to catch something. We had the Dark Aether story and the Forsaken to end Cold War. Now we are following that with Black Ops 6, and chaos elements were being added, and that has great potential for amazing storytelling. However, over the course of an entire year, that story went, fucking nowhere. And now our characters are trapped in the Dark Aether, and that is where the maps will take place in Black Ops 7. I have no clue how they're going to maintain or use chaos elements, or if they've forgotten that those elements were added during Black Ops 6. I got no clue what they're doing. I hope they can get back on the right track. All of that to say, the story was a yikes, and those few mechanics issues could be better. However, they aren't horrible as they stand either. It may sound super negative what I'm saying, and so far it has been, so let's switch it up and talk about why I do like Black Ops 6. It is really fun to play. It is smooth, the weapons are fun to use, they feel good to use. Many game systems were smoothed out after Cold War and made more engaging here. The maps are a step up from Cold War in style and fun factor. Not perfect, but much better. The boss fights in this game are amazing. They are my highlight of Black Ops 6. The Easter eggs themselves are getting better again finally. Something I haven't had in a long time was joy from simply hopping into a match of zombies and taking down hordes of the undead. I have always loved zombies, but I was admittedly a bit burned out after Cold War. The hype leading into Black Ops 6 got my interest rolling, and it was great at release. I had fun for a good long while with Terminus. Now at the end with Reckoning, and that map fully turned me back into the arms of zombies. I am more eager to play all forms of titles. I've been playing MW3 and Vanguard, I've been on Outbreak and Cold War, I've been doing Black Ops 4 Easter eggs again. All of this renewed interest was sparked by Black Ops 6 and Reckoning. It helped bring me back to a place where I enjoy zombies as my top gaming element again. It helps me feel more inspired to make zombies videos, those that relate to Black Ops 7 and those that will relate to things from the past like this very video. Black Ops 6 is not perfect, but damn it, I can't deny that I have had a pretty good year of zombies overall, and it started with a bang and went out with a really fun map. I haven't walked out of a year of zombies this pleased since Black Ops 3. It ended well from a gameplay standpoint, and for that I thank Black Ops 6 for reaching the finish line strong in that regard. Before we move to the next game, I want to say if you are looking for more information on Reckoning or Black Ops 6 as a whole, I've got 2 videos that may interest you, so go check them out. On to the top 3. Here is our number 3, and it is Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 started off rough. So rough. But they turned that ship around and got zombies back on track. This remains here at 3 because of what the back half of the game's maps did for zombies. Mob of the Dead, Buried, Origins. Those 3 maps completely saved Black Ops 2 and zombies. They took the foundation laid by Black Ops and catapulted it into the story and gameplay elements we now love and expect from zombies. There are items to be built, characters to care about, story that drives interest, allies to be made, zombies to be slain, and epic set pieces. If the start of this game went as well as the end, then it would likely be the number 1. but it unfortunately stumbled at the start, and now it has some dead weight dragging it down. It is no secret that Transit and Die Rise are troubled maps that were responsible for a depressed crowd of Zombies fans for a while. Those maps are annoying and tedious in ways that are impressive. They managed to make every part of themselves annoying. I can't honestly sit here and give you positive things to say about Transit. Die Rise, I can at least say two things. The Sliquify is really good, and the Jumping Jack rounds having a perfect accuracy incentive is always fun. Both of these maps have buildables, but it is with the archaic build system where any player could only carry one part at a time, ever. This made building anything an absolute nightmare and chore. Transit is a massive, sprawling map where the only buildables you may want are the turbine and the shield. Oh, make that just the turbine because it is so integral to the map progression. Doing any other buildable sucks, especially the jet gun, which is scattered all over the map and takes forever to build because of it. Pack-a-Punch can be closed on you because your turbine across the map got hit by a zombie, which means you'll have to cycle all around the map to try again. I could go on and on, but I'm going to stop there. You get the point. Die Rise is massive in its own right, but this time vertically. It is slow to navigate. The perks are randomly scattered and shifting up and down different buildings. Buildables are, again, one part at a time. Die Rise is better than Transit, but these are still not good maps, and made for a bad time to start Black Ops 2. But then the next three maps happened, and oh golly, we have the start of the Golden Age, as it's called. Mob of the Dead is a narrative-driven map that has a wonderful aesthetic. Alcatraz Island is a perfect zombies location that plays into the style of zombies perfectly, and, of course, then plays into the themes of this map's story. Mob fixed the buildable part collection system and made that so much smoother. It added special earnable equipment, a cool wonder weapon with a buildable upgrade, a perfectly placed mini-boss, a neat Easter egg, and awesome conclusion where you are forced to fight your allies in an attempt to break the cycle. Mob is incredible. Buried followed it, and I won't go too deep here as I intend to make a video about this map soon. Suffice to say, it was massively appealing to casual fans and hardcore fans alike, which is an impressive feat to accomplish. Buried is unique and fun, and what else can you ask for from a zombies map? That's right, you can ask for Origins! Wow, what a map this is. Style, flair, aura, atmosphere, story, sex appeal. Nice. This map has it all. First time seeing a set of 4 buildable wonder weapons with upgrades, amazing 1,000 foot tall robots towering over the play space, the introduction of the new character crew that was going to carry the torch into Black Ops 3, some great weapons just added to this map, awesome and difficult mini-boss with the Panzer. There are so many things to do in Origins that it can absolutely be overwhelming your first times through. Once you get your feet under you, wow, it is an incredible beast of a map. Black Ops 2 went out on a high note with a great streak of maps. The only problem is that there is more to this game that prevents it from being higher. That is actually much like the next entry at our number 2 spot. Our number 2 zombies game ever is Black Ops 4. I was so close to putting Black Ops 4 as my number 1 zombies game. So close. I flipped on this at least 6 times before settling here to make the video. It came down to 2 things. One, I'll cover here, and the other I will cover when we do get to our number 1 game. The first reason is that Black Ops 4 does have some stinker maps. While it has 3 maps that are in my top 10 of all time, it also has 2 maps that are significantly lower. The launch of Black Ops 4 was rough, bugs galore, but there was so much content there. The most we have ever had at the release of a zombies game. There were also some big game system overhauls, mainly with the perk system, which I actually don't mind at all. I do wish it was a 5-hit down system, but that would be my only real complaint relating to perks since we don't have Jug. It also introduced each player having a specialist that they can select before the match. I think the specialists are great and really fun. They also have thematic styling that matches the storyline you're playing in, be that Aether or Chaos. Launch brought 4 fully fleshed out zombies maps, 2 being from our Aether story and 2 from an entirely new storyline with Chaos. I absolutely love Chaos. Even Voyage of Despair, which is the weakest of the 4, is a map that I can enjoy and love the Easter egg and boss fight for. Aether is where this game had its largest struggles, starting with Classified and Blood of the Dead. Classified was a reimagining of 5, and I think it did well to expand the map and show more of the layout. However, it missed the heart of what 5 was. No celebrity cast, and no Pentagon thief. That is an unforgivable sin. The Pentagon thief and 5 have their identities inextricably linked. Losing him in Classified is one of the biggest reasons that I don't enjoy Classified more than 5, and I'm not even a 5 lover per se. I can still recognize that it is a big miss by Black Ops 4. Blood of the Dead is a mess. On one hand, you have the Magmagat and training zombies being fun. On the other, you have that god-awful Easter egg that makes you dream of a timeline where humans never evolved eyes. It is a piss-poor mess of an Easter egg that destroys any joy from that side of the map and prevents it from reaching the higher tiers of maps. And great, now I have opened Pandora's box, so yeah, go at it in the comments and tell me how horrible I am for not thinking that Blood of the Dead is the best map ever. I've learned my lesson about this map over the last year of doing this channel. The final launch map is 9. A grand arena where you must please the gods in trials to be given the opportunity to fight the elephants in the final showdown. This map is, in a word, grand. It feels like an epic adventure where you are battling against the odds to survive and escape. It is really fun to play and experience. This was my launch map of Black Ops 4 where I spent the most time at the start. Follow that with Dead of the Night, a map that came out of nowhere and is incredible. So much to do in this mansion, so many things to see. It's got an awesome Easter egg and a solid boss fight. This map also has one of the coolest and best wonder weapons of zombies with the Alistair's Annihilator. You'd almost think it couldn't get better for Chaos until you see Ancient Evil roll out. Ancient Evil happens in Delphi and shows off the gods of Chaos just as well as 9, if not more so. This map is beautiful, large, and has a secondary section of the map where you ride Pegasus to reach and has the Pack-a-Punch. 4 awesome gauntlets to collect and upgrade, a neat and unique mini-boss, and the Pegasus Strike equipment that is so broken. The Pegasus Strike is stupid strong and looks amazing while being used. There is also a really cool design of the shield for this map. The boss fight of Ancient Evil is one of the cooler boss arenas of zombies with islands that you hop between to fight Pegasus and then the actual final boss Perseus. Ancient Evil is my favorite map of Black Ops 4, and it is sad to see that it was the final showing of Chaos. Chaos was cancelled due to a poor fan reception, I'll never forgive you all, and this is where that ended. At least it ended on a high note. Alpha Omega came after, returning us to Aether, and yeah, this is the worst map of Black Ops 4. I've changed my mind from before. Last year I would have told you Blood was the worst. It's Alpha Omega. It's Alpha. It has to be. It is a rehash of Nuketown, but now you can't use half the map or you'll be destroyed by Nova Bombers. The Easter egg isn't fun. The boss fight is alright, but not worth the trouble of playing this map. It follows the pattern of most of the Aether maps in Black Ops 4. The lore and story is so good, but the gameplay of the map itself is just not fun to get that story. The only exception to that rule being Tog der Toten. Tog takes Call of the Dead and blows it wide open to expand it and show more, which is crazy for a map that was already large. It is gorgeous and fun to play. It has a fun collection of retooled wonder weapons that make survivability possible and fun. For being a large map, it handles the size pretty well and it is not bad at all to navigate. One complaint I do have is with the dynamite that you get and you need to be using snowballs on fire zombies to get it. It just doesn't make sense and they should have either left those ways open or made them a paid door. Maybe a paid door isn't the best idea considering that Tog der Toten is the most expensive map in the whole zombies universe to open every door in. But regardless, I am not a fan of the dynamite. That being my biggest gameplay complaint is a great sign. Tog is fun to play. The Easter egg is a bit tedious and long, also bogged down by dialogue sequences where all you can do is sit there twiddling your thumbs while you wait. However, I do still like this Easter egg. It's not my favorite, but it is good. Unfortunately, Tog does not receive a final boss. Not a real one, at any rate. You must follow your safety bubble to the end of its path, and, well, that's the final encounter. What this does, though, is unlock the end of the Aether story as it had been going since World at War. A poetic and clean wrap-up to close this chapter of zombies and the crew and the universe that we had grown to love over time. Tog delivered this amazing ending, and for that, I must always thank it. Black Ops 4 as a whole was a bit of a mixed bag, much like Black Ops 2. However, there were more highs and even more content to Black Ops 4 as a whole, which is why it is just above Black Ops 2. Now the time you all knew was coming, it's time for number 1. And the number 1 zombies game of all time is still Black Ops 3. It won't come as much of a surprise that Black Ops 3 is at the top of this list. As I mentioned before, I battled with this idea hard while making the video, and so that means, at least in my world, the stranglehold Black Ops 3 has had on the top spot is slipping a little. The reason it is still here had the first half explained during the Black Ops 4 segment, but the other half to that is Zombies Chronicles. This massive boost of content within Black Ops 3 assured that its legacy would stand strong. Now this one game can give you so much fun from its own work, but also bring back 8 Now this one game can give you so much fun from its own work, but also bring back 8 fan favorites with gorgeous updates. Perfect time now for me to say this, which I'm not sure if it'll be controversial or not, but Black Ops 3 is the pinnacle of graphics and aesthetics in zombies. This is the best looking zombies game to date. I will die on this hill. I don't know what it is about this game that so flawlessly stands against time. It looks so good and can't even be beat by the newest zombies games. The gameplay is top notch. The maps are fantastic and varied in visual styles and mechanics. The Easter eggs are incredible, and the story that follows is captivating, interesting, and exciting. With the addition of Chronicles, this game adds flavors for most player types, all player types. More casual type players have the Giant or Kino der Toten, and hardcore players can go as far up as doing Shadows of Evil, Gorod Krovi, or Revelations. There are so many in-between maps that are here as well, and they are also enjoyable. The consistency at which Black Ops 3 hits is what sets it above the other games. Listen to this. The Giant, Shadows of Evil, Der Eisendrak, Zetsubo no Shima, Gorod Krovi, Revelations, Chronicles. The worst new map out of that bunch is Revelations, and it's still a good map. The reason Black Ops 4 isn't here is because of having a map like Alpha Omega that stinks up the place to a degree. The highs of Black Ops 4 are high, but the low can get low. Black Ops 3 also has amazing highs, but avoids the lows, and at worst goes down to like mid. The Gobblegum mechanic is awesome, and it is no surprise that it came back to Black Ops 6. It creates so many more ways for players to customize their experience in either helpful ways or gimmicky fun ways. I hope another game can give a run at this type of zombies that Black Ops 3 offered, because it was able to appeal to a wide range of players. This is all without even mentioning mod support that keeps adding content today. Of course, consoles don't have this, and for that reason, it isn't something that I factored into this rating. I'm just adding it now because I think they're awesome. It is only a small percentage of players who will ever be able to experience the mods, which sucks. It also sucks that this will likely be the last COD to ever have mod support. If by some miracle it comes back again, it better be done through Steam again, because that is the perfect way to do it and the only way it should ever be done. Take notes, Minecraft. However you slice it, Black Ops 3 has an amazing foundation of mechanics that is built upon in each map it offers. If you want to enjoy zombies, then look no further. No matter what kind of zombies player you are, you will be able to find something to like or love in Black Ops 3, and that is what makes it the best zombies game of all time. I'm going to go over the full ranking one more time, and then we're going to get out of here. Number 12, Advanced Warfare. Number 11, Modern Warfare 3. Number 10, Vanguard. Number 9, World War II. Number 8, World at War. Number 7, Cold War. Number 6, Infinite Warfare. Number 5, Black Ops 1. Number 4, Black Ops 6. Number 3, Black Ops 2. Number 2, Black Ops 4, and number 1, Black Ops 3. Now to close this up and get out. Call of Duty Zombies has been a mainstay in my life since 2008. It has been with me for so long, and it is something that I cherish. Whenever I have the opportunity to talk about the thing I love, I want to take that. That is why I started this channel. Over the last year of doing YouTube, I have had some really great moments and many unfortunate lows. I want to thank all of you who have watched my videos, liked them, left a comment, or subscribed. The last month has been the best month of my channel, and I am now at 229 subscribers, with me nearly doubling my subscriber count over the last month. I am looking forward to making more content. This month has left me inspired and invigorated. I am hopeful for Black Ops 7. I can't wait to make videos about Black Ops 7 and still doing the passion projects I enjoy and looking back at old gems to discuss things that I find fascinating in the mode. With all of that, thank you for watching this ranking of all COD Zombies games. What are your rankings of the games? Tell me below. I hope you have enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like, a comment, or subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one.